Introducing the most flexible crypto card in the world. 5 traditional currency accounts, including USD, GPB, EUR, CNY, and JPY. Currency exchange rates better than high street banks. Manage all your crypto and traditional currencies with one simple platform. Add funds to your account via bank transfer, credit and debit card, or crypto proceeds. Spend or withdraw your funds anywhere credit and debit cards are accepted. Exclusive plastic, aluminum, stainless steel, gold-plated, and solid gold cards available. 24/7 global support in multi-languages. 24/7 professional concierge services. Up to 40% discounts on hotel and travel. Instant rewards from high street retailers. Fast delivery to over 100 countries. Order your GS Lifestyle card today.
Hey, hello, everybody. Hey, welcome to Daniel's Den. This is Daniel Higgins coming to you live. Welcome, everyone. I see we got some people hanging out in different platforms. We are live right now on Facebook, YouTube, along with Twitter, which used to be Periscope, but hey, it is what it is. Things change, things adjust, right? All right, let me make sure everybody can hear me, see me okay? All right, so we are sounding good, looking good so far. Listen, I want to chat with everybody today about normal and paradigms. Oh my goodness, if you've been connected to our class and session with Brother Eric Teray Muhammad, you know, you might think you know where I'm going, but there's a little bit about that is just so important. So earlier today, I was just thinking about normal. What is normal? And it really goes back to your mindset and what we think. Our mindset is based in paradigms. The best person to explain that process of your mindset and also replacing that mindset with something better is none other than Mr. Bob Proctor. So I have a video here that I'm going to play. It's a short clip from him walking us through some very key details. So today we'll talk a lot about changing your paradigm, right? And he talks about repetition is used when changing your paradigm or changing that mindset, right? And that is vital. It's so important because everything is going to hinge on your paradigm, okay? Every single thing is going to hinge on what your mindset is, okay? Just to make it a little bit simpler, but he's going to break it down, all right? So listen up. We're going to watch this intently, all right? I'll probably interject, but I'm going to try my best not to. But there's some key points when he talks that correlates directly to our Wealth Builders Worldwide team, because our team is focused on building that better paradigm and then also helping position you to create more passive residual income. So when you start talking about multiple streams of income, that is what we are focused on in Wealth Builders Worldwide, right? All right, guys. So without further delay, let's go ahead and connect with this short video from Mr. Bob Proctor.
Now, for the next few minutes, I want to talk about you. I want you to just think about you for a moment. I want you to think about your life. I want you to think about how you're living versus how you'd really like to live. You see, pay close attention to what we're doing, and you're going to find out that you can actually create your own economy. Now, I learned that many years ago when a man told me He said, Bob, if you'll read this book and do exactly what I tell you, you can have anything you want. Now, I did not believe that. But after talking to him for a while, I believed he believed it. Guy was happy, he was healthy, he was wealthy. I was unhappy, I was sick, and I was broke. I had no formal education, I had no business experience. He said, that doesn't matter, Bob. What's happened in the past is the past. What happens in the future is based on the decisions you make. Now, I said, I know how to earn money. I know how to be happy, and I know how to stay healthy. If you'll
As we watch this, guys, this is an older video, okay? So this video is about 3 years old. He's going to talk about some events and things like that. So, of course, those live events that he's talking about will not apply, but definitely lean in to the information, because this information is so important still and is so valid to this moment in time. And that audio is about to catch up right now in just a few moments.
do exactly what I tell you, your life will change. Well, you know, it did. Over the next year, I multiplied my income. In fact, my life changed so much, I made a decision on one thing. From that point on, I would always have a mentor. I would have some kind of a coach, and I would pick someone that knows how to do what I want to do. And then I'd do exactly what they told me. And that's what I've done. And I've been doing that now for over half a century. I sat down and took a pen out one day and said, I'm going to build a company that operates all over the world. Well, right now I'm broadcasting all over the world. And I'm going to show you how you can really make things happen. Growth is a normal part of life. If something's not growing, it's dying. Now, if we're going to grow, there's one thing we're going to have to do. We're going to have to change. We cannot stay where we are and get better results. It just doesn't work. Now, this man said to me, Bob, you change your paradigm and you'll change your life. I didn't even know what paradigm was. I certainly didn't know how to spell it, didn't understand it. He said, let me show you what a paradigm is. He said, you told me that you wanted to earn more money. That's all I wanted. I figured if I had enough money, my problems would go away. See, I was earning a little bit and I owed a lot. I owed everybody money and I couldn't seem to get out of debt. I just couldn't seem to do it. I'd pay one bill and another one would pop up. Well, he said, let me tell you something. There's two things that you must know if you're going to create wealth. They're not difficult. Anybody can learn them. You have to know where you are. You have to know where you're going. And then you've got to get moving in that direction. Now, this is so simple and so obvious that when you start studying this, you're going to ask yourself, why are so many people stuck? And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people are stuck. Most people get the same result this year as they got last year. Oh, it may have fluctuated a little bit, but not very much. Do you know, with the potential we've got, we should double, triple, quadruple our potential, our right results. Because we're God's highest form of creation. We've got mental powers that would blow you away as you start to study them. So the obvious answer is then, well, people mustn't have goals. And I suppose that's true in a lot of cases. But I think a lot of people have goals, they just don't know how to get them. I don't think that's where the problem is. The problem's over here in understanding where we are. And most people really don't understand where they are. Well, they know where they are physical. You know, I'm standing in the middle of a field and a farm and so. I'm walking down a main street in Fifth Avenue in New York. They know where they are physically, but mentally they don't know where they are. They don't know why they keep getting the same results over and over and over. They keep same reoccurring problem. Well, he said, I'm going to tell you why. He says, because of paradigms. Because of paradigms. And then he said, Bob, you've got to learn to control the flow of the thought energy, and you got to let it flow freely to and through you, and it'll improve everything that it connects with. See, there's an energy flowing to and through us. I'm not going to take the time to go into it here, but you can actually photograph the energy leaving a body. I think you may have seen that or heard of it. It's called Kirlian photography. A man named Semyon Kirlian back in 1934 in Russia perfected a form of photography where you can photograph mass and you can photograph the energy coming from it. This thing we're living in is a massive energy. Do you know there's about 11 million kilowatt hours per pound potential energy locked up in the electrons in the atoms of our body? We're just walking dynamos. We don't understand how to direct it. Well, let's take a look. What is a paradigm? A paradigm is a mental program that has almost, I say almost, exclusive control over our habitual behavior. Now think of this for a moment. Almost all of our behavior is habitual. So what we're really saying is that paradigms are controlling our life. We're not controlling our life at all. Now consider this. People go to school, they gather all kinds of information, they may have degrees, come right off the end of their business card. So they're not lacking in the smarts department, in the intellect department. They've got the knowledge, they're not using it. Why do so many people graduate from university, deep in debt from going to university, and they can't find work? How could you have all that knowledge and not find work? How could you have all that knowledge and be broke? Well, I'm telling you why. It's because of paradigms. Now, this is an interesting subject, and this is a black and white matter. There's no gray matter here. It doesn't matter how hard you work. It doesn't matter how many hours you put in. I've been working at this for over 50 years. I'm very familiar with it. If the paradigm does not change, ultimately the results will remain much the same from one year to the next. And that's really what happens to most people. If you only remember one thing I'm saying, I want you to burn this into your mind. When paradigms stay in control, nothing changes. Now, you can try as hard as you want to change some area in your life. If the paradigm remains in control, you're toast. It just will not work. So we got to ask ourselves some questions. How do we control the flow? Well, we've got the ability to choose. We've got phenomenal mental faculties. What is a paradigm shift? What is it? Well, it's an interesting thing. When we really cause the paradigm shift, everything happens. Now, we're doing a program. It's called a paradigm shift. It's a seminar. I don't care where you are in the world. I can come right onto your pad, right onto your computer, right onto your phone, anywhere in the world where there's an internet connection, and you can attend a seminar that I'm doing with Sandy Gallagher on paradigms. It is a powerful program, and we're coming right into your home. Now, what is it? It's a resourceful environment that we create where people from all over the world collaborate, they mastermind, and explore opportunities while developing financial independence by setting up multiple sources of income. Look at that phrase right at the bottom of the slide. Multiple sources of income. Way back many years ago, I was trying to figure out, what do wealthy people do that's so different? I've met wealthy people that were absolutely brilliant, and you could understand why they're wealthy. But I've met other people who aren't very bright at all, and they're also wealthy. So it's a cross-section of people. You find men and women. You'll find young and old. You'll find from every nation, every culture. You'll find the wealthy and poor. Well, what is the concept? Wealthy people, almost without exception. I say almost because I don't know for certain if everybody does, but I'm inclined to think they do. They have multiple sources. They don't have one source of income. They have many sources of income. I have sources of income from all over the world because I've set up a company that operates all over the world. But we show you how to do that too. You can. You can earn money while you're sleeping. I did last night, and I will tonight, and you can too. The Paradigm Shift Seminar is a beauty. There's only two known ways to change a paradigm. Just two. Go ask any psychologist, any psychiatrist. The paradigm is like a program in our mind that controls our behavior. Doesn't matter how much we know, our behavior is controlled by the paradigm. Now, the first way is the constant spaced repetition of ideas that are essentially the opposite of the paradigm. That's what our Paradigm Shift Seminar is all about. And that's what I'm inviting you to. Now, the other way, it doesn't happen very often. That's the personal experience of an emotional impact. I'll give you an example. 9/11 in New York, the buildings coming down, that was an emotional impact. Not for me, probably not for you. It was a terrible thing that everybody would agree was an absolute catastrophe. It was a paradigm shift for the people that were involved in that area. When that happened, that their lives changed. The family of people that were killed there, paradigm shift. That doesn't happen often. You can count on the other one, a constant spaced repetition. I'm going to show you why. Now look at this for a moment. Why repetition is necessary when changing paradigms. Now you've probably attended a paradigm shift seminar. Go back and attend another one, and another one, and another one. I started to read this book 57 years ago. I'm still reading it. I have a book here open on my desk. Get this over here. Let me grab it. Let's change that here. I have it open. I've been reading these 2 pages for 3 months because I know that's how paradigms change. It's repetition that actually changes it. Now, here's why. I want you to look at this for a moment. Let the white line that I'm going to put on here represent the sound of my voice. The red line represents you listening to the sound of my voice. The white line represents my voice. Now think, so you go along and you're listening. Now there's a difference between listening and hearing. You can hear me and not listen to me. Kids are like that with their parents. Most people are like that with their spouse. They hear them, but they're not listening to them. And so they're in trouble. That's the way it works. So think of what I'm saying again. The white line represents the sound of me talking. The red line represents you listening to me talking. Now, I'll go along and I'll be explaining something, a bang, an idea will hit. Where do you go? You go off on a thought trip. You see, those lines are what we call a thought frequency. And you'll be up here and you'll be thinking about that idea that hit your mind. All the while, the white line's still going. I'm still talking, but you don't hear it. You do hear it. You don't listen to it. And then you come back down and you start listening again. And you go along and bang, another idea hits. And away you go on another thought trip. So you see, that is why we can listen to the same thing over and over. And you'll say, I never heard that on there before. I never heard that before. You could be reading it in a book and say, I don't ever remember seeing that in the book. That is because you would be reading, your eyes are going, but your mind is off somewhere else. Now think of this. If you see those red dots and they represent at the point in the seminar when you took an idea and you started to think about it. Let's suppose you come back to it again. Let's tear all this down for a moment, and we'll just leave the dots on there, okay? Now, what do you suppose the odds are of you stopping on that idea the next time you hear the same thing? It isn't going to happen. You're going to come down there. You see, the odds of you stopping at the same point, you're not going to do it. So you're only getting emotionally involved in the idea once, and then you get another idea at another place. Through repetition, everything in your life starts to change. Now, I never knew that, but I started to read this book, and then I started to listen to a recording of Earl Nightingale's battle way back in 1961. I was so fascinated with what Earl was talking about, I couldn't stop listening to it. 10 years later, I was living in England. I was earning over $1 million a year. I had business in 7 different cities in Canada, the US, and England. I was earning all kinds of money. And I started to ask myself, how did this happen? And I could not figure it out. I'd been raised to believe if you're going to earn a lot of money, you got to be really smart. I knew I wasn't that smart, but I was earning a lot of money. I was raised to believe if you don't go to school, you can't get a good job. I didn't have a good job. I owned the whole company. So then I started to think, well, a lot of the stuff I believe isn't even true. And then I started to think, how the heck did I change? And so I started to study. It took me about 9.5 years. And when I figured it out, all I wanted to do was teach it. And I reasoned it was because of the repetition. I kept listening to this material. I was starting with records, and then we get into cassettes, and on it goes, and then we're online. But it's the repetition of hearing the same thing over and over and over again. And that's what happens to people. That's why almost all welfare recipients are third, fourth, fifth generation welfare recipients. That's all they heard when they were a kid. They were programmed with it at a very early age by the people around them. That's why we learn the language we learn. Can you imagine where you'd be if I said, "Hi, my name's Bob. What's yours?" You wouldn't know your name if your mother or dad just told you once. They tell you over and over and over and over. And pretty soon they'll say, "Bob," and you start recognizing. Okay? Now listen carefully. All you have to do is make a decision. I want you to make a decision right now that we're going to deliver a seminar, that you're going to attend it. You can do it wherever you are. It's very inexpensive. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to gain so much knowledge from this. It's absolutely phenomenal. We'll stream it right into your home. Now, the beautiful part about this, it's 2.5, 3 days. If you can't stay there for that whole length of time, you stay for part of it, you get it all recorded. You can come back and you can cut in anywhere you want. And you can do that for up to 2 weeks. So you can spend a couple of weeks really studying this. Gather phenomenal information. It just takes a decision. You know, he mentioned in here that all people that are successful, he spent his whole life, Hill did, Napoleon Hill, studying successful people. He said all successful people make decisions very fast. They change them very slow, if and when they change them at all. I want you to decide right now that you're going to do this. You're going to do it. You're going to build a new model. Buckminster Fuller, the man that built the geodesic dome, he said something interesting. He said, you never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change things, you build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. Do you know what you'll learn in that 2.5 days in the seminar we're streaming right into your home? First of all, you can get your whole family involved, get the kids involved. They'll understand it. Do you know what you're going to find? You're going to figure out how to build a new model, how to live the life you want. We're God's highest form of creation. Do you know that all the other little creatures on the planet are completely at home in their environment? They blend in. Think about it. Little birds, squirrels, deer, they blend into their environment. You and I are the only creature on the planet that's totally disoriented in our environment. And that is because we've been given the ability to create our own environment. We can sit down, we can take a pen, and we can decree our own destiny. Now that's what you're going to learn in this seminar. It's so inexpensive, and you can't say you haven't got time because we're giving you 2 weeks to watch it. You can cut in and out whenever you want. And if you're really wise, you're going to cut in and out often. Now, you've probably been struggling with the results, trying to change them. Fuller said, you don't do that. You don't change your existing reality. It's the way it is. It just is that way, but it doesn't have to stay. You change something by building a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. How? Attend the Paradigm, a resourceful environment where people from all around the world collaborate. You can be chatting with people on it from various parts of the world. You can make connections with people. You could end up making joint ventures with people, setting up MSIs, and it can all be done in the chat while you're in the seminar. You're going to mastermind. You're going to explore opportunities while developing financial independence by establishing multiple sources of income. We're going to show you how to do it. But understand this. If you've been in it, don't say you got it, because you haven't got it. It's over and over and over. If you are really wise, you will register for every streaming seminar we put on and just keep plugged in. I have never stopped studying it. And you know something? My income just keeps going up and up and up. I'll be 84 in a very short period of time, a couple of weeks, 3-4 weeks. I get as much energy as a person 24 or 34. You see, age hasn't got anything to do with it. How old would you be if you forgot your age? Intelligence has nothing to do with it. There's brilliant people who are not making it happen. What has it to do with? It has to do with paradigms. The Paradigm Shift Seminar, the repetition of it, and bang, 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 you start to change your life. Got it.
All right, you guys didn't hear all the wisdom I was dropping because I was muted, right? All right, hello, guys. I want to jump in right there because when he talked about the paradigm shift, there's so many different directions I could go in, right? But I want to just pause right here on this slide right here. He talked about masterminding. He talked about connecting with people. I'll tell you straight up, our Wealth Builders Worldwide team, we do this every single Monday through Saturday on our power calls. Every single Monday through Saturday at 10:45 Eastern Standard Time, you will be in an environment that is designed to help you explore opportunities and really start triggering what you need to do to move forward for your independence. And when it talks about multiple sources of income, Wealth Builders Worldwide and what we're doing with Gold Standard Partners will put you in position for multiple sources of income. In one business entity, we have layers upon layers and layers of multiple sources of income, all in Wealth Builders Worldwide and Gold Standard Partners. Okay, so I want to let you guys know that right up front. So when he talks about shifting that mindset, right, he talked about some great things, and I want to kind of get into what I want to talk about, right? So, you know, we have a normal thought process. We have a normal mindset or paradigm, and we're going to have to either let that run its course and we don't do anything to change it, or we're going to change it. It's up to us, right? And we learn that more and more as we connect with Class in Session. We learn that more and more. What's going on, Courtney? I see you sneaking in. We learn that more and more as we connect with our live power calls, right? And I have to tell you guys, he talked about a generational norm that was passed down, you know, the people who were connected to welfare, right? So you have a normal paradigm and it's controlling, or you have a normal mindset that was given to you by others. And you have an opportunity now, when you become aware of it, you have an opportunity now to shift that, to change that, okay? And it is definitely up to you to shift that paradigm that we're talking about, right? It's up to you to change that mindset, right? So it's one of those comments where people say, hey, you know, if you were born into a situation, you had no control over what you were born into, right? But as you become old enough to be self-aware, now you're put in a position where you can make that change, okay? So challenge that normal mindset, that default that you have, by the repetition that he was talking about. So you're going to want to challenge the old mindset, is what he said, by controlling and creating a new thought process. You're gonna have to replace it with a new. You're gonna have to create something new, just like how the Mr. Fuller was saying. Don't try and change the reality. Build a new thought. Focus in on and hone into a new thought process, right? And just stay in that thought process. And that old paradigm, that old thought process is going to try and come back. That old thought process is going to try to rear its head up, right? And pull you back to that old mindset. I love when he talks about frequencies and he says, hey, your goal is up here, but your mindset is here. And you're going to be thinking about that goal and that mastermind, whatever it is that you're shooting for, right? And then that old mindset is going to still be there. You got to stay focused in. The only way you can stay focused in on that goal is by continuing to challenge that mindset and change it by creating a new thought. So you're going to have to discipline your thoughts. You're going to have to continue to throw your thought back up to that goal. You're going to have to continually do it, right? It's not going to be a one-day thing. He talked about him reading those 2 pages for several months, right? He talked about reading those same pages for several months. I will tell you, one of my normal routines is to listen to an audio multiple times, just like how he said. You're going to be hearing something and then your thought's going to come in and you're going to be up there with that thought. And then you're going to come back down and then the audio's still playing, but you were not, it was going in, but you wasn't listening. You were hearing, but you weren't actively listening. You weren't participating in those words because a thought came in. And that's good because your mind is actively going to trigger things and you're going to think about something and you're going to go up to that thought, right? And you're going to take that trip to that thought. That thought might have you take an action, right? And while you're reading a book and while you're reading something, it might trigger you to take an action. When you're reading a book that you're meditating on to keep you in that right mindset, it might trigger something like, hey, call this person. And when you call that person, guess what's going to happen? They're going to say, I was just thinking about you. I just had that happen earlier today, or today and yesterday, right? So focused in, dialed in on getting the right mindset. And then a thought came in. It was like, hey, do this. Took action. The person was thinking about me at the same time. And I know that is because of the repetition that I'm starting to do more and more and more, right? So this is the ability that we can all tap into, right? It's an ability to shift our normal, you know, because normal is being in debt. Normal is being in debt. Normal is working till you die. He talked about that. He said, listen, I made money in my sleep. You should make money in your sleep also, right? He said that that is a possibility. So when he said that that was a possibility, someone's mindset went negative, right? Someone, not you, but someone's mindset went negative and said, hey, what's going on, Miss Eunice? But someone's mindset said, wait, I make money in your sleep? How you do that? I can't do that, right? So you had a negative thought immediately when you heard that, and you went on a thought trip. You might have went on a negative thought trip. And then as I was talking and as he was talking, you didn't hear anything he was saying because you were in that thought of make money while you sleep. What do you mean? You can't do that. You got to clock in to make money. No, you don't. You have to challenge that mindset, replace it with a new mindset, right? You got to do it. This is so important. This is so important because this is the way life is designed. Life is designed, and I love how my pastor explains this. He has explained this many times. He talks about the garden and the world, and pretty much you are that garden, right? This is exactly what he's talking about when it comes to Mr. Bob Proctor is talking about when you're sowing those seeds into your garden of your mind and your heart. It doesn't matter what you sow, your heart is going to grow it. It's designed. Your subconscious mind is going to grow whatever you plant. So you want to continually keep that thought that you're planting to be where you actually want to go. And I'm not a master of this by any chance. Mr. Bob Proctor's still not a master at it, and he's been going at it for over 50 years. Think about that. He has been meditating on, focusing in on a book for over 50 years and still hasn't mastered every part of it and has so much of it that he's trying to pour it out to other people. Someone that I know is just like that, Mr. Ty Bess, an amazing author, an amazing leader that continues to pour out. He has so much to pour out because he continues to meditate on and glean from all of these different success books. Your Proverbs, right? Where all wisdom and success comes from, right? Then your other books like Think and Grow Rich, right? He gleans from all those books, and he gleans from many other books. I was just using those as an example, right? So you want to get back with the person sharing this with you because I know it's July, right? It's July. We're at a bit of a halfway point, not really, a little bit more, right? But we're about a halfway point in this 2021. Where are your results? You wanted results when you started in January, right? But your normal paradigm may be keeping you back from enjoying the now and the future that you want. So I'm playing this information not just for you, but it's also for me to continue to challenge and move that old mindset out of the way by creating the new thoughts, by focusing in on what you really want. What you really want. The dreamers on this line, they have an idea of what they want. They have a goal board or a vision board set up, and they're focusing themselves on that vision board, right? And they're adjusting their lives to go towards that thought. Go there. Take that imagination, harness that imagination, what has been given only to us human beings, right? Because lower life forms don't have the ability to focus their imagination to create, right? They don't have that ability to take their normal paradigm, their normal thought process. They're stuck in season. They're stuck in instinct, right? They can't go past their instinct. They gotta fly south for the winter, right? They gotta do this. They gotta hibernate. They can't be like, I don't feel like hibernating. I'm gonna go somewhere else for, no. They are stuck within those, right? And of course, there's a reason for all that, right? But we have an opportunity, right, to tap into building the life that we want, right? So I'm gonna bring this up one more time because I want to, let's see, let me keep this up here. I want to drive this home. He talked about multiple sources of income. He talked about being in an environment where people from all around the world are collaborating and masterminding, right? Exploring opportunities, developing financial independence. That is Wealth Builders Worldwide. That is our Wealth Builders Worldwide family. That's what we do day to day, moment by moment, live webinar by live webinar. We're connecting you and giving you an opportunity to hear the ideas that you're going to need to shift your mindset. Shift your mindset. And I keep saying mindset almost in replacement to paradigm, just in case anybody has a unfamiliarity to the word. Okay, it's a new word. So if you want to use mindset just to kind of, help you bridge the information gap, right? But all it is an organization or group of thinking that you're used to using. It's also been given to you. A lot of it, like he said, I'm making all this money, but I was told that when you make a lot of money, it's because you're smart or because you have a good job. He said, I didn't have a good job. I owned the company. He said, I wasn't smart, but I owned the company. He said that wasn't true. So if those things weren't true, what else is it that wasn't true that I've been handed down? Okay. So as adults now, we have the opportunity to renew our mind and focus in on that goal. All right. So I encourage everybody on the sound of my voice, challenge that paradigm, get into a good book. He talks about Think and Grow Rich a lot. I love that book. It's an amazing book. Jump into that book. Think and Grow Rich. There's Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice. There's Think and Grow Rich, Latina choice. There's Think and Grow Rich for women. There's different versions of that amazing book to help you connect with the information. So you can do the classic Think and Grow Rich, which I've read. You can go to the Law of Success, which is literally the breakdown of everything in the book. It's pretty thick, so you may want to start with Think and Grow Rich first, but I love that book. The Law of Success is very important too. So if you can get that original book that literally springboarded really, well, I won't get into all that. But like you said, when you're challenging or changing that mindset or paradigm, repetition is needed. We have a power call. The power call is Monday through Saturday at 10:45 Eastern Standard Time. I guarantee you, as you continue to plug in, he talked about plugging in. You'll notice that our Wealth Builders Worldwide community and family is always talking about plugging in, connecting to the information so that you can have that opportunity to change and improve that mindset, shift it to your goal, shift it to that mark that you're headed towards. Financial freedom, debt freedom. These are not things that are normal anymore, because being normal, your normal would be in debt, over your eyeballs in debt. That's normal. Working until you die, that's normal. Okay, so you're gonna have to do something different if you want to live a different life. Okay, so let me put that big old if in there, because it depends on you. Some people are satisfied with where they're at. That's fine. Stay there if that's what you choose to do. All right. So this is part of your success team. All right. and I have to update the slide because the Spanish presentations are not on there. But this is part of your success team. This will, I guarantee you, help not to just challenge that paradigm or that old mindset, but replace it with something better and superior as you connect with us and glean the information that we're sharing, right? So that's very, 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 very important. Let me see here. So 10:45 Eastern Standard Time, we have the live power call. Every Monday through Saturday, we have a live webinar at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? Then every Sunday night, we have a fast track training. Listen, the people on this screen have tapped into replacing that old mindset. Several of them are financially free. Our leader and the CEO of Wealth Builders Worldwide has been financially free now for over 26 years, right? There are moms who are financially free now on this slide because of Wealth Builders Worldwide. They're earning money in their sleep. And some of them love to earn money while they are hanging out with their toes in the beach or their toes by the pool, okay? Because that mindset of having to clock in somewhere, you want to replace that. You're going to be able to see it happening in real life for other people. And then that'll help you pull up that mindset and see, okay, that's possible. You know, we got people talking about beach money because that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. They're doing passive residual income. Every single thing that we do in here is assets, moving assets towards yourself, okay? And just to be very clear for people who are new, I don't do all this talking when I'm chatting with someone in real life. In real life, all I do is ask a few simple questions, and if the answer is yes, they're open, I'm sharing a short video or connecting them to a live presentation, right? I'm sharing this content to inspire. I'm sharing this content to help as many people under my voice, right? But in my day-to-day, when I'm connecting with people, I'm not doing a whole lot of talking. I'm trying my best to do a whole lot of active listening, and I'm trying to ask a few key questions, and I get them to a tool. I try and get them to a three-way call after they connect with the information. All of this talking does not exist in real life. This is for me sharing information, right? So you want to do that too in your real life, okay? Anybody who's new to Wealth Builders Worldwide, everybody who's new to Gold Standard Partners, you're going to learn a lot of information connecting and plugging in and changing that mindset and replacing it with a better, superior mindset. You're going to learn all that stuff and you're going to keep it to yourself. And then when you go out into the marketplace, as Mr. Best says, you just ask simple questions, you interview people, you have fun, you connect with people and see if they can, you interview them and see if you're going to bring them on board, connect them with the information, okay? All right, so I just want to make sure I make that clear. Make that clear, make that clear. All right, Miss Kenya, I'm proud of you. Keep plugging in, keep plugging in. That's what it's about. Because you're going to hear success stories. You're going to hear, like how I can go off the rip, okay, with all of these amazing leaders. Let me pull this up again. Because, I mean, there's no replacement for real life illustrations. There's pastors on here. There's entertainers on here. There's people who do, oh my gosh, there's people who didn't know how to pay their rent in December of last year that are now, Mr. Kansu, now driving around in a Benz that he paid for with his earnings, with his bonus earnings, not his actual earnings. He bought the vehicle with, okay, let me stop, right? Then there's people in here that have been financially free for an extended period of time. There are entertainers in here, like I said, there are doctors in here, there are people who are just successful in so many different areas. There's one gentleman on here that was a millionaire in real estate, lost it all in 2008. He is super excited about what we're doing because now he gets to tap into real estate, commercial real estate in Dubai with no toilets and no overhead and no expenses that he's used to, because he's been a millionaire in the real estate space, right? So there's so many different people connected to this amazing business. It draws so many different unique individuals because it can address and help so many people because we have multiple streams of income in one business. So you can stay focused and you can amass multiple streams of income. All right. All right. Thank you, guys. That's all for today tonight. Get back with the person sharing this information with you. Get back with them right away. I'm just giving you a little teaser of information. You want to get back with us. You want to connect with our live webinars that we have that break down everything in our ecosystem. Get back with that person. If that person is me, you go straight to my website, y1income.com, and get your free registration completed. All right. So y1income.com right there, and you get your free registration completed. All right. If I'm not the person sharing it with you, get back with the person who's sharing it with you. Okay. We're all one big team. So we're all going to be here to support your success, right? We literally have a success team. I just showed you a glimpse of the success team. The training that we went through yesterday was off the chain. Oh my gosh. Our Sunday night trainings, they are just epic. It's just all right, guys. Thank you so much. You guys have a great day, night, afternoon. Just depends on where you're at in this awesome world we live in. We will see you guys on the next live stream. All right, let's get out of here. I will see you guys next time.
Never regret to be here tonight with us. Let's go, party is going on.
The certificates over the blockchain, first of all, it's still